I don't know if you heard, there was an election last night, and this thing was a freaking bloodbath for the Democrats, a red wedding, if you will. It was just a disaster. If you're a fan of the Democrats, if you're a Republican, you're feeling pretty good today. But there was a lot of stuff that happened, and we want to just kind of do something simple with it. Just talk about 5 things that happened last night. So we've even put together a nice little image for you. Take a look. Okay, so these are the big 5 things that I think happened last night. The Democrats, and we even put them in blue because the Democrats are blue, everybody knows that. They lost the Senate. The Republicans now control the Senate. The Republicans elected an African-American senator in the South, Tim Scott, who already was a senator from South Carolina, but he had been appointed because someone's stepping down. He was now elected in the South, the black Republican in the South. D.C. Is getting recreational marijuana, which the Democrats are going to need after this election. Massachusetts got an out LGBT attorney general by the name of Maura Healey. And the short-term consequences probably aren't that huge because D.C. is going to remain iced for the last 2 years of Obama's presidency. So basically, the Republicans weren't giving him any bills to work with in the first place. Now they can double down on that. He may be forced to do some executive orders, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so instead of CNN, MSNBC, and Fox just babbling on 24 hours a day about this, let's just do some simple stuff. How do you feel this morning, Whitney?
Oh, God. I mean, I feel great about the images that were just shown on that in terms of color coding.
The color was really good, right? We added that
it was
this week.
really good.
Yeah.
But I feel like the world is just being turned upside down. African Americans are Republicans. DC is smoking weed. There's a gay person as an attorney general. Like, I don't know what's next, but I can't wait to see it. Everything is turned upside down. I'm very disheveled mentally this morning.
All right, well, we'll work with that disheveled mentally. Jaclyn, how do you feel about what happened last night?
I'm frustrated. You know, it's just, the whole situation kind of just sucks. I mean, this is like the worst Congress in a long time. They have like, what, a 90% disapproval or something, but then they had that many, you know, being reelected. So people obviously aren't trying to change many things.
Yeah, is the fault here, I think a lot of the fault is that the Democrats, they all ran away from Obama. I've given Obama a ton of shit on this show. People get angry on the left at me because I've given Obama shit, but that they all ran away from him. You know, that woman who wouldn't say whether she voted for him or not, they wouldn't, you know, they didn't want to double down on Obamacare, et cetera, et cetera. Don't they think maybe they should have just stuck with their guy and that at least would have got the base going? All right, we'll come out and vote.
I mean, Democrats are running away from themselves in general. Like, nobody wants to have anything to do with them. Even Hillary Clinton, you know, who's the only real hopeful for 2016, they're like, oh, look at Hillary sided with all the losers, you know. They're like pigeonholing, they're just completely ostracizing their own here. And it's all, I don't know if it's all related to Obama, but it seems like we just don't have a chance anymore in life.
So as a person that's down with science, I know you like that science, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
You love that science. Do you fear that, like, so on issues like climate change, things like that, stem cell research, et cetera, that to me, if I was someone in your shoes, and I'm a science believer myself, so I'm someone in my shoes, I'm in my own shoes right now, that to me is the scary part, that the Republicans might try to roll back some of this stuff.
Any social issue is in jeopardy whenever Republicans are in control.
Yeah.
You know, that is always my biggest fear. But to be honest, like, I'm not sure that much is actually going to change because, in my opinion, both parties are kind of ruled by business. And like you said, Democrats are running away from the party, but it's like that on both sides because no one really wants to identify as a party because both of them are just, you know, terrible.
Yeah.
So
where are the independents? Everyone keeps saying, oh, the independents, there's this third group of people that nobody talks about. I don't identify, I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. Like, where is that group of people?
I mean, the Libertarians were the real third party in this election, I feel like, and they were just, it always happens where they just pull the Democrat vote really away. And I mean, I don't think that would have made a huge difference in making the Senate, you know, Democrat, but it doesn't help, that's for sure, having them.
Are we about to see the worst of the worst? Because when I think now how these couple years have been so gridlocked, and I think Congress had a 7% approval rating or something like that, and Obama's he was already saying 2 weeks ago he's going to start with executive actions on immigration and stuff like that.
He's been delaying stuff forever.
Yeah.
He's been delaying immigration, he's been delaying Keystone, like he just keeps pushing things back.
Doesn't that tell you how fucked up the system is? That what he's saying is, I know if I do this stuff before an election, it's going to hurt my guys, so I'm actually going to preemptively tell you what I'm going to do so that I don't hurt my people, but then I'm going to do it anyway. So it's like everybody's at fault there,
but
right?
It's also he's being strategic about it, because I think with Keystone, for example, like he's been wanting to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
But now that the Republicans are in office, he can be like, well, look, the Republicans made me do it. You know, so he's going to be able to get out of that a little bit. But I mean, it's like that on both sides. So
I'm going to actually print T-shirts now that said the Republicans made me do it. Just start selling them.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
The Republicans
really
do it. The Republicans do it too, because
Yeah.
for a long time the Republicans have been wanting to lower Social Security, and now Obama's probably going to compromise and do that, and then all the Republicans are going to be like, oh, look at this liberal, socialist, Marxist dictator lowering all of our Social Security, when in actuality it's been the Republicans pushing it all along. So it's just going to be like a blame war. Who's going to get blamed for doing the horrible things?
Yeah, a blame war.
Yeah.
That's the real war that we
Yeah.
have every day, is the blame war. But what does it say about Obama that he won 2 elections, but the 2 midterms that he was in office for, his party got crushed? I mean, really, both were destroyed. Like, does that show that kind of my feelings? Like, I kind of like him. Like, I would love to play basketball with him and have a drink with him and smoke a joint with him. But as far as a president at this point, and now he really is a lame duck.
Right.
Like, now it's official lame duck season. But what does that say about him? Like, people, I think, like him, or like the idea of him more than what actually is going on.
I mean, but I think that's initially what got him into office. Not saying, you know, he's very well spoken and he's an intelligent guy, but he got elected because he was charismatic and people related to him and wanted to kick it with him like a homie.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say kick it like
you
a
know,
homie.
yeah, I knew you were. So I was just filling your words.
Yeah.
But now that we're really into nitty gritty politics, all these years later, we're like, ooh, maybe that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah. Do you feel the same way, that it was more about like the idea of him and the hope and change guy and the rainbows and the excitement, and then
he made a lot of promises.
Yeah.
He made a lot of promises that he didn't necessarily follow through on. So I mean, I don't blame people. Like we just got out of being, you know, with Bush for 8 years, and people wanted something great. People wanted change, and he represented that for a lot of people. So
And the thing is, Bush didn't do any good, and I didn't want to hang out with him. So at least we have one redeeming factor.
But he has good party supplies, from what I understand. Or at least had some back in the day in college.
That's true.